upon becoming fixed in his attachment to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, by the grace of the Spiritual Master, and by awakening knowledge and detachment, the living entity, situated within the heart of the body and covered by the 5 elements, burns up his material surroundings exactly as fire, arising from wood, burns the wood itself.
Five coverings, earth, water, fire, air, ether. Bodies, gross elements, and Asadevi Bhagavati, Bhakti Yoga Prayojita, Jnanyadyasavaya Yogyanam Chayavita. By performing devotional service, automatically one develops transcendental knowledge and detachment from the world. So he realizes he's not the body, and he loses his attachment. Just like, for example, if we're sitting in a restaurant and the announcement comes over the speaker that such and such automobile, the owner of such and such automobile should come because the car has been smashed by a truck in the parking lot, and that automobile is yours. You're immediately affected by great anxiety and lamentation. But then when they say, "Oh, excuse me, it's the wrong vehicle," and they say another vehicle, and it's not yours, and you feel completely relieved of the whole situation. Similarly, we're thinking that we're this body, and everything that happens to the body affects us. Even if we just hear something, if someone insults the body, if someone says you're ugly, or you're a fool, we become upset because it's due to attachment to the body. In early years of school, sometimes the little girls, their parents give them some advice because the little girls are often taunted. You know the word taunted? Harassed by the little boys. Little boys are always taunting the little girls. So the parents teach the little girl, you just tell them, sticks and stones can break my bones, but names can never hurt me. And this way the little girl says that, and she's not disturbed by what they say to her. She just says, it doesn't matter what you say, your name. So that's a kind of detachment from the body. That's of course temporary, not fully in knowledge. But when we realize we're really not this body, the body is not us, we become detached. We can be, in this way, that's why the first instruction Krishna gives Arjuna is you're not this body. Te no smrita dehe, komaram jovaram jara, tata deyantara pratyar, dirastatra namoyite. First instruction. Before anything else, you have to understand who you are, know thyself. I think Socrates or someone said like that. If we don't know who we are, or what we are, then how can we do the right thing? How can we know what's our best interest if we don't know what our interest interested if we don't know our account number? How can we put the money in the right account? Next, the other point is that, what is it, he burns?
He burns up his natural surroundings exactly as fire.
Doesn't mean he becomes a pyromaniac, starts burning everything with matches. It means that he brings out the spiritual nature of everything. Wherever he is, it becomes a spiritual place because of his presence, because he uses everything in a spiritual way. Like I was walking on a morning walk with Prabhupada once in a park, and he stopped in the middle of a walk. There was some grass area, and he stopped, and he just kind of, everyone was silent. We didn't know why he stopped, but he was obviously listening to something. And there was a bird, an unseen bird. We couldn't see where the bird was, but the bird was singing very beautifully. And Prabhupada said, that is Krishna. And the whole park became a setting for Prabhupada's few words, that is Krishna. The beauty of the songbird. Prabhupada made the whole world his stage for his performance of devotion to Krishna. I was just in former Yugoslavia, and they did a video of the history of movement in Yugoslavia. And it began with Prabhupada's words. He was speaking in a lecture, and he said something like, we should go to Yugoslavia, there's some interest in Yugoslavia. But just the words, just the fact that Prabhupada said those words, that was as good as his being there. He was thinking about Yugoslavia. How powerful is a devotee? How powerful is Krishna? The devotee always has Krishna with him. So wherever he goes, he has Krishna. And when Krishna is present, Krishna Surya Samamaya Hayananika, Jana Krishna Taha Hayananika. Krishna's like the sun. The sun lights up everything in the daytime. The material world is like darkness, but darkness cannot stand in the presence of light. Krishna is the sun, and the devotee carries the sun with him wherever he goes. He's so absorbed in Krishna. Krishna's one song by the Acharyas says, I'm simply running after you because you have Krishna and you can give him to me. So the devotee has Krishna, and he gives Krishna everywhere, wherever he goes. So the world is greatly benefited by the pure devotees. It's even said in the Shastras that when Ganga was asked to come to earth, she had some concerns. One of her concerns was that she would be coming down from such a high altitude, and when she would hit the earth, she was afraid she could go all the way down. We can just imagine what kind of velocity must have been. She was anticipating coming down with such a force that she was afraid that she would go down to Patala Loka. So Patala Loka is the seventh of the, I should It's the lowest of the planetary systems. And each of the 7 lower planetary systems is 80,000 miles down from where we are. So it's 80,000 times 6, 480,000 miles. She was afraid she would go all the way down. And she didn't want to go to Patala. So anyway, that was one concern. And it was Bhagirath assured her that Lord Shiva will catch your fall on his head. And that way you won't go down. And their second concern was that so many people would, if she came to earth, so many sinful people would take bath in her waters and deposit all their sins, and she would become overwhelmed with the sins. And the assurance was that as soon as the pure devotee takes bath, he'll take all the sins away from you. And this is also stated in a Vaishnava song. Ganges purifies by taking bath, but the pure devotee purifies just by seeing it, just by. So that's how he burns up the surroundings. Burns off the ignorance and reactivates the spiritual principle, because actually everything is spiritual. Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma.
Purport. It is said that both the Jivatma, the individual soul, and the Paramatma live together within the heart. In the Vedic version it is stated, Hrit Yam Atma. The soul and supersoul both live within the heart. The individual soul is liberated when it comes out of the material heart or cleanses the heart to make it spiritualized.
In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Ishvara Sarva Bhutano, Videsha Jagatishtati, Ramayana Sarva Bhutano, Yantra Rudhani Maya. He's situated the hearts of all living entities, and he's directing the wanderings of all living entities, as seated on a machine made of material energy. So, Kshetra Gya, the body is like a field, and the knower of the field is the living entity. But Krishna says, Sarva Kshetra Shivanata, that he's the knower of all fields. We, individual souls, we know about the pains and pleasures of our body, but we don't know the pains and pleasures of other bodies. But Krishna, as in his Paramatma feature, extends and goes into every body, the heart of every living entity, even the little insect. It's said that he assumes a size proportionate to the body. So in our body, the size is about 8 inches, super slow. But in the little insects, it would be smaller proportionately. But anyway, he's there, directing the wanderings and fulfilling the desires. Living entity is not even able to fulfill his own desires. He can't do anything, actually. But if the Lord agrees, then material nature allows it to happen. That's why it said Prakriti Krimanani Gunai Karmani Sarvash Ahankara Buddhatma Kartahami Jimante. Living entity thinks he's doing things that are in actuality carried out by nature. The living entity has desires, and if those desires are approved by the Lord, then He instructs nature, who's working under His direction, to fulfill His desires.
The example given here is very appropriate. Yonim ivotito vihi. Agni, or fire, comes out of wood, and by it the wood is completely destroyed. Similarly, when a living entity increases his attachment for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is to be considered like fire. A blazing fire is visible by its exhibition of heat and light. Similarly, when the living entity within the heart becomes enlightened with full spiritual knowledge and detached from the material world, he burns up his material covering of the 5 elements, earth, water, fire, air and sky, and becomes free from the 5 kinds of material attachments, namely ignorance, false egoism, attachment to the material world, envy, and absorption in material consciousness.
When the demigods approached Sage Tadichi to ask for his body, because they were instructed to do that, so they could use his bones for fashioning thunder bones, something like that. So that was quite a request to give up your body. But he wasn't attached, because he understood that it was the Lord's desire that his body be used in this way. So he accepted it. Well, he's exalted. And even if just one realizes he's not the body, he's exalted. That's the goal of the impersonalist, Aham Brahmasmi, that's the slogan on spirit. Just to realize that is considered to be siddha. What to speak of? Acting properly in that constitutional position of spiritual. And constitutional position, Jivara Surabhoy, Vichara Krishna Das, as servant of Krishna. So, we were celebrating a few days ago the 15th anniversary of Srila Prabhupada's incorporating ISKCON. And we were thinking how ISKCON is such an incredible institution that it takes people from all different situations and cleans them up and makes them suitable to go back to God and then sends them back to God. Totally an amazing movement. There is no other movement like it. So we're very thankful to be part of it. And even if we're not so capable of doing something extraordinary, but we can take advantage of this God, practice devotional service, and go back to Godhead. It's not that only the Mahabhagavata super preacher, not that only they go back to Godhead. Even the little devotees go back to Godhead. Krishna likes little devotees, big devotees, simple devotees, cow devotees, deer devotees, plant devotees. So many different devotees are. Krishna likes them all. Even river devotees, earth devotees. There's some place for everyone in the spiritual world. Continue.
Therefore, Panchatmakam, as mentioned in this verse, refers to either the 5 elements or the 5 coverings of material contamination. When these are all burned into ashes by the blazing fire of knowledge and detachment. One is fixed firmly in the devotional service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Unless one takes shelter of a bona fide spiritual master and advances one's attractions for Krishna by the spiritual master's instructions, the 5 coverings of the living entity cannot be uncovered from the material heart.
There's a Vedic statement in Acharyavan Purusho Veda. One who has an Acharya, that word is used here also, Acharyavan. One who has an Acharya, he knows everything. He knows. Because he's been educated. He's received the transcendental knowledge. He's received the essence. Guya Guya Tamam. The most confidential knowledge is given by Krishna to his devotee. And the devotee passes on that confidential knowledge very carefully to his disciple. And that disciple, he then has the task of passing on that most confidential knowledge to his disciple. In this way, the secret goes down and spreads. But the disciple has to be qualified. He has to be sincere. He has to be submissive, eager to render service, inquiring submissively, tadvidhi pranipatena, pariprashnena seva, upadekshanta te jnanyasta patarshana. This is the great transcendental system of disseminating transcendental knowledge. It can't be received any other way. If someone thinks, I'll bypass spiritual master, I'll go directly to Krishna. Krishna refuses. No, go to my devotee. It's like when someone goes to Goodyear Tire Manufacturing Company, the factory. It says, I need 4 tires for my car. Say, no, go to our representatives. No, you have thousands of tires there. All I need is 4. No, go to my representative. Here's the list. That's the system Krishna has set up. If you want to get Krishna, if you want to get Krishna knowledge, you have to go to his devotee. That's why he says in the Bhagavad Gita. He says, approach your spiritual master. In the case of Arjuna, Krishna was the spiritual master. But the rest of us are not. We cannot claim Krishna as directly our spiritual master. He is the guru of all gurus. And the message doesn't get changed. The message doesn't get polluted or disturbed. In the material world, they have a game that the children play. Use telephone or something like that. One person speaks something, whispers in the ear of the other, and then that one whispers what they thought they heard. And by the time it gets around to the end, it's completely distorted. Invariably. Because someone said it wrong, someone heard it wrong, someone cheated, someone wanted to mess up the whole thing, someone added something, someone thought they heard something, and someone wasn't paying attention. One way or another, it gets distorted. But the beauty of the disciplic succession, the sampradaya, is it doesn't get distorted. Because all along the path, the guideline is the shastras, the sadhus, and the gurus. So they can check to be sure. In other words, if it was written down, if they had it written down, say, and they whispered it and they gave the paper with the exact clue, then it would be much easier.
The living entity is centered within the heart, and to take him away from the heart is to liberate him. This is the process. One must take shelter of a bona fide spiritual master, and by his instruction increase one's knowledge in devotional service.
It's stated in the Vedas, Yasyadeva Prabhaktir Tadeve Tatagaro Tasyaite Katitayarta Prakashate Matma. One who has implicit faith in both Krishna and the Guru, all the imports of transcendental of the Vedas are revealed. Faith in Krishna is not sufficient. One has to have faith in Guru and Krishna. And faith in Guru alone is not sufficient. One has to have faith in Krishna. It's like there's some people that have a Guru, and they have a lot of faith in the Guru, but no faith in Krishna. So, what kind of Guru is that? He's not teaching them to have faith in Krishna, then he's not a Guru. Guru has to be one who presents the same teachings without change. As Krishna says, everyone should surrender to him. So the Guru should say, everyone should surrender to Krishna. He shouldn't say that you should surrender to me. Why should you surrender to him? He considers himself a peon. Like the postman. The postman carries the message, the mail. He himself is not the donor, he's not the sender. So somebody's Guru is like a postman. His success is he may not be so creative or skilled or talented or whatever. Not generally postmen are not wealthy, not very highly educated. But their one overwhelming good quality is they're trustworthy. Well, that's why Lord Chaitanya says, Charitaki Tarika Krishna Upadesh Amara Gyai Guru Anatale Desh. He orders everyone to become a guru and preach Krishna consciousness, even if they're not so highly educated or qualified. If they just present what they've heard without change, then they become guru and they can deliver. Anyone who hears from them has the same opportunity to get the same message that Krishna gave to Arjuna. It's like the powerhouse is the source of all the energy in the city, but if you have a wire connection in your home, then you have your own private powerhouse. You can run whatever you like. The same way, the disciplic succession gives us connection to Krishna right in our own locality.
Become detached from material world and thus become liberated. And an advanced devotee, therefore, does not live within the material body, but within his spiritual body, just as a dry coconut lives detached from the coconut husk, even though within the husk.
He's liberated even though he's in the body. Certainly, those who had the association with Prabhupada could experience that or could perceive that Prabhupada was not of this world. It appeared that he was from the spiritual world and that he was on the spiritual platform even though he was walking on earth. That's the idea, that the liberated person, even if he's here in this contaminated material world, he's not contaminated, he's liberated. He's Jiva Mukta. And such association is so valuable that anyone who comes in contact with such a person can also become a liberated person. It's like if one stick has fire in it, and it touches another stick, and the other stick gets the fire too.
The pure devotee's body is therefore called Chinmaya Sharira, spiritualized body. In other words, a devotee's body is not connected with material activities, and as such, a devotee is always liberated. Brahma Bhuyaya Kalpate.
The tradition is that sannyasi's body, after the demise of the sannyasi, is not burned because it's considered to be spiritual. It's being used fully in Krishna's service, so it's considered to be spiritualized. That's the same idea.
As confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 14:26, Srila Rupa Goswami also confirms this. Iha yasya hare dasye karmana manasa gira nikhilasa vapyavasthasu jiva muktasa uchyate. Whatever his condition may be, one who is engaged fully with his body, mind and speech in the service of the Lord is liberated even within this body. End of purport.
Okay, thank you. Any questions? Or discussion? Any of these points?
Read again this five things of the attachment of the illusions.
Also ego is what? What were some of the others? Anyone remember?
Free from the 5 kinds of material attachments, namely ignorance, false egoism, attachment to the material world, envy, and absorption in material consciousness.
Yes, those are burned up also by devotional service. A devotee is not envious, not jealous. That's a difficult one. Because whenever we see somebody who's more qualified than we are, we become envious. And we start thinking, let's see if we can discover some faults. There must be some fault. How could he possibly be better than me? We're envious. We want to be the enjoyer. We want to be the most beautiful. People like to be rock and roll singers or rock and roll performers because then they get people adoring them. And they get money, and they get fame, and with that they get power. What is it? Renunciation they don't get very much. That's the one opulence they're not interested in. Any other questions?
There's sometimes I've heard that you can be liberated, although yourself you are maybe fully realized, but if you engage in the devotional service, how is it possible that you yourself you are not like really understanding fully that you are a spiritual soul and like that, but if you engage in the service of the Lord, then
if someone's engaged in devotional service, he understands he's not the body. Because why would he engage in service of the Lord if he thought he was the body? Because there's tapasya, tapo divyam, divine materialists are not interested in. How many materialists get up at 4 in the morning and go to the Mangalarti? Not so many. Because they don't, how many materialists give up for prohibitions? If someone's performing devotional service, he has to follow all these principles, and it requires some voluntary austerity. So he must be realized, he must know he's not divided. Any other?
Maharaj, thank you very much. I have this doubt that could one not be like this, even though one is not so realized, to do the devotional service in the hope that one will become realized.
Say again.
That that one could it not be like this, that one could do the devotional service not because one is realized, but because one wants to become realized, or the one still is in material body.
Yeah, that's good. But that's just as good. Rupa Goswami says that I have no desire to serve Krishna, and I don't even have a desire to serve Krishna, and I don't even have a desire to serve Krishna, and even that desire is giving me pain. But somehow or other, because Krishna's in there, desire. Gopi Bhartur Padakamalayur Das Das Amadas, servant of the servant. That's good. That desire will fructify. Krishna is very expert, and the spiritual master is very expert at taking the spark, a little spark of desire to serve Krishna, and they fan it and make it into a big fire. And the Thank you very much, Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai.
Jai.
Mr. Danavir Maharaj ki
Jai.